Hi there, watercolor kids, and welcome to episode 4 of Paint and Play, where we're going to have fun and be creative with watercolor. This video is just for you, or you can watch with an adult. And remember that at any point in this video, you can pause it, rewind, and if you have any questions, ask your adult to write a comment below. In all of our episodes of Paint and Play, we're going to gather all of our supplies, recite our mindset mottos, practice our breathing exercise, learn something new about watercolor, and today we're going to paint some clouds. Here are all of the supplies that you'll need: your watercolor paints, watercolor brushes, watercolor paper, a pencil and an eraser, jars of water, paper towel, and today you're going to need some extra paper towel. You'll see why in a little bit. Now that we have all of our supplies, let's recite our mindset mottos. Will you repeat after me? We are all creative. We will be kind to ourselves and others. Now let's practice our breathing exercise. This will help us calm down and relax and get ready to paint. Remember to breathe in through your noses for 4 seconds and out through your mouths for 6 seconds. You can have your palms facing up on the table or on your lap. Try to sit up straight and then let your shoulders fall naturally. You can close your eyes or open them, up to you. Let me put on some relaxing music and we'll get started. Great job. I hope you're feeling relaxed and ready to paint. Today's painting technique is called lifting. Can you say that? Lifting. That's right. Lifting is a cool technique because we're going to remove or erase some of the paint. Pretty cool. But we're not going to use an eraser. Nope, we will use our paper towel. So let's practice lifting a few times before we paint our clouds. Are you ready? Let's do this. Now let's practice the lifting technique before we work on our final painting. First, we need our extra paper towel. I want you to take your paper towel and rip off a small section. Next, we're going to draw some simple shapes and paint inside of it. So use your pencil to do that. Now I'm going to use a larger round brush and a dark blue color, and I'm adding some water to it so that I can wake up my paints. Wake up! And then I'm going to paint the shape that I just drew. And while the paint is still wet, I'm going to take my paper towel, scrunch it up, and then lift up some of that paint. The key is that the paint has to still be wet, okay? And as you're lifting, you can dab the paper towel. You can also touch the paper towel to your paper and then kind of smudge it a little bit. Each time you lift, you want to make sure that you're using a clean part of the paper towel. So if you need to turn it over or fold it, make sure to do that. And look at that! Now you have some clouds. Let's try it again. So now let's go to our second shape. You can choose a different color or the same. I'm going to do the same color. And again, notice how my paint is very wet, kind of watery, so it's a lighter value. And then again, quickly grab your paper towel and then start dabbing to lift up the paint. There we go. Wow! They look like some fuzzy clouds. What do you think? If you need to practice this a little bit more, that's totally okay. Draw some more blobby shapes, paint it, and while it's still wet, take that paper towel and lift up the paint, okay? If you're ready to go on, grab another sheet of watercolor paper and let's paint I'm using the paper from Mandalama, and I'm using my pencil first to draw 5 blobby shapes. They don't have to be perfect circles or anything. And again, you can choose the same colors or you can choose multiple colors. That's up to you. Now, to help me get started and prepared, I'm going to rip off lots of little paper towels. So take off small pieces of your paper towel, scrunch them up, and then set them aside so that we can use them later, okay? Now, if you need to wake up your paints, make sure to do that with water. Sometimes I use a spray bottle. So if you have one lying around, or ask your adult if you have a spray bottle, okay? So here I go with the first blobby shape. I'm going to do the same thing that we just did in our practice. I'm going to take my large brush, paint that shape. And while it's still wet, take my paper towel, dab, 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 smudge, smudge, smudge. And there we go. So we're removing some of that paint to show the white color of the paper underneath. Isn't that pretty cool? So the paper towel is like our eraser. So instead of using a real eraser, we're using the paper towel. Let's keep going with the second shape. I'm using the same color. And again, you have to work a little bit quickly, okay? If you find that your paint is drying too fast, make sure that your paint is watery. Or if your shape is too big and your brush is too small, then make your shapes a little bit smaller. This time I'm going to do a purple color. Have you ever seen a purple sky? And again, work quickly while it's still wet. Grab that paper towel, smudge, 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 dab, dab, dab. I love seeing these clouds come to life. Two more shapes, here we go. Notice how when my paint isn't watery enough, I put my brush in my water cup, okay? So add some water as much as you need to. And now I'm going to take my paper towel again, scrunch it up, and then dab, smudge to create my clouds. These look really round and fluffy, almost like cotton balls. All right, and here we go with the last shape. I'm going to do a purple sky again. And again, work pretty quickly. Grab that paper towel. And look at that. Wow. Now you can make your clouds as big or as small as you want them to be. And there you have it. Wow. I can't wait to see your clouds. If you want to use this as a poster and put it up in your room, or even give it to someone as a present, maybe you can encourage them with the phrase, "The sky is the limit." You can write that with your black marker. And that's it for today's project. I can't wait to see what you've created. Great job! And thank you for joining me for today's episode of Paint and Play as we painted these dreamy clouds together and learned all about lifting. Next time we're going to learn about gradients and splatter and paint these really cute cupcakes. I'll see you then. Happy painting!